size of a little understood chapter of Jewish history, existed for about 450 years, starting from about 1390 until 1834. There were those who chose to outwardly embrace Christianity while remaining Jews in the privacy of their homes. These Jews were known as Maranos. The first generation of Maranos, those who made the decision, can possibly be criticized for their actions. But by the time a couple of generations had passed, very little leadership was left. Shabbos observance was limited to lighting candles. Yom Kippur and Pesach were the only Yom Tovim that were even known about. Bris Milah was impossible. And children grew up thinking they were Christian until they were old enough to be trusted with the shocking secret that they were really Jews. However, these Maranos kept whatever laws they knew, and they were ready to give up their lives to sanctify God's name, Al Kiddush Hashem. One such Marano was Don Pedro, Duke of Montevideo, relative of the Queen, and high-ranking Council of State.
Good morning, gentlemen. This is Senior Martin Group, the ambassador of the United Provinces of the Netherlands. Senior Group, you have already met Captain Gaspard de Leon, my military attaché. Captain, please proceed with the introductions.
Let me start with your President Venezuela, Prime Minister of the Council of State, Father Diego Sarmiento de los Visitor General to the Supreme Council, to the Holy Office of the Inquisition of Spanish Empire. Pedro Manuel Luis Dominguez, Duke of Montreal, and ministers to the Council of State, as well as kingsmen to the Holy Family. And finally, Escort Foundation, personal confessor to our Holy Master.
Senor Group, please proceed with the opening remarks.
I'm sure you already know, at least to some degree, gentlemen, the state of affairs of my country. 5 years ago, King Louis XIV of France came and conquered the Dutch Netherlands and inherited his wife, Queen Maria. After that, things were terrible. We took over our country, destroyed our cities, and ruined our farms. Yet all is not lost. For 2 years later, we signed a pact with the British, which helped push the French back on French soil. That did not last very long. For 2 years after that, the British turned their backs on us and joined with the French. Since then, there has been nothing but total and complete disaster. Our cities are ruined. Our commerce is ruined. Everything is ready for us. We had to open up the dams and let in the water to wash out the enemy. If you do not help us, if we rebuild our city, the French will march right back in to overtake us. You must help us. The Empire and Brandenburg has already expressed interest in signing a pact with us to help push the French and British back onto French soil. The fate of Europe lies in your hands, gentlemen.
Fernando, what have you to say?
What can we gain by helping out the Dutch? The French will go on to attack some of our weaker possessions, that is Boston and Italy. I suspect that the Empire and Brandenburg are not actually pledged their situation, and rather only express interest. Is this true?
It is true they've already expressed interest, not merely expressed interest. They seem really interested in helping us. But and it is also true that nothing has been signed.
Exactly as I thought. The Dutch are much interested for you, and perhaps you could even appoint for living. Looking at that, but the interest of the state must come first.
Your answer is not at all unexpected, Fernando. But Captain, what do you say? Can we stand up to the French?
I believe the Prime Minister said it does have the truth to it. However, I believe the true Spanish will be willing to fight for the glory of the Spanish Empire. Better let our Spaniards stay and fight than sit in their taverns and drink with the drunken men. I believe the Dutch are very courageous people, and the Spanish, too, is motivated to find such courage.
Surprise, surprise, the captain goes for war. That is, that should be. But let us now turn to our Holy Father, General Inquisitor. What do you see on the matter?
Well, you see, it's a close call. Do we want to save the Dutch morons? Or we don't? And the only reason I seek to save them is for some compensation.
Well, Mr. Susie, we're not lacking in funds. We will definitely compensate monetarily anyone who helps us.
We don't need your money. We want concessions to the church pounds on the table. You are breeding these Maranos. They're growing too fast. You have to drive them straight out of your country.
It's not those people who can't think us to do. Many of them will drive out of the country. Many of them run our commerce and our businesses. We can't just get rid of them.
It's your choice. For the Jews. All day.
These are Dutchmen, not Spaniards. Let us be practical. Not everyone's views are the same on Jews. Don Pedro, what do you say?
Well, my sources tell me that the government of Amsterdam is about to be taken over by Prince William III of the House of Orange. I think we should wait till then. The House of Orange has historically been in favor of the Spanish policy. What we should do until then is express our support, mobilize some troops, and send high-ranking diplomats to negotiate a treaty. We must do this slowly. This way, the French have to think twice before we act here. But we don't commit ourselves.
Yeah, I like that.
As usual, Don Pedro has presented an excellent plan. He has mentioned that we should slowly, of course, send diplomats to the Dutch. Well, I can think of no one better than Don Pedro to head this mission. I nominate Don Pedro.
An excellent suggestion, Father Arcanio. I am inclined to agree with you.
Your Majesty, you know as well as I do that Father Escobar hates me. He's just using this as an excuse to get me out of the palace.
Don Pedro, your bickering is shameful. The issue here is not the motives of Father Escobar Carnegio. It is who I deem the most qualified for this mission. I see you as the most qualified. Now do you accept or not?
I accept, Your Majesty. I will try to serve according to power.
Don't worry about her. She's just 15 and full of youthful exuberance. And where's Isabel? Isabel? She's in the jail for pregnancy. Infected with also. You know, sometimes I think we find our two daughters together. We have a really Spanish lady. Why do you want to know what they are all of a sudden? Well, Angelica, you're not going to let us. But I'm not going to know you less than 2 weeks. Well, why, my dear? It's my duty to serve my country. It is a dangerous trip. In fact, I'm not impressed. I think that before I leave, we should tell the children.
They did just that. They gathered the children together.
before I'm dead. I mean, not the first. But before I go, I have something very important to tell you. It's a wondrous thing, an exciting thing, but it'll also turn your life upside down. When my mother told me this all about 30 years ago, I was so confused, I didn't know what to do. Listen to the story. There once was a valley, and in this valley was a stream of water. This water brought peace and joy to whoever drank it. The water was bitter, but the children of the valley got used to it at an early age. The king of the valley wanted to share this water with people outside the valley. So he sent messengers to distribute the water. The messengers were very successful, but the people didn't want to drink the water. They wanted to remain barbaric and brutal. They didn't want to change. But deep down inside, they realized the keepers of the water, as they came to know, were superior to them. After a while, they got so jealous, they outlawed drinking the water. They went around spilling it wherever they could find it. It became very rare to actually find cases of water. But some people actually kept drinking it in secret. How's that? What would happen if they got caught? Probably actually. But actually, what do you think?
Well, Father, you've given me a lot to think about. Let's see.
And you, Isabel?
Pastor Marano always says, saints must not live in sin and sinners. I will tell them to go every day. Use the light. Use the light. Now where are you?
Where's the light? What is the question?
Saints must not live in sin and sinners.
I know.
I will tell them to go to church every day and pray. Heaven will help.
Is this a true story, Father?
Yes, the story is true. In fact, there are keepers of the water here in Spain. Children, we are keepers of the water.
What do you mean?
Oh, the water is just an allegory. It really means the Holy Torah that our Creator has given us on Mount Sinai. And
No, Papa. Tell us it's not true. Tell us. Tell us what the true local Spaniards, not accursed Jews.
yes, that's right. Not a curse Jews. We're better than them. Isabel, you've always been at the top of this Christian. And I would have been disappointed if you did not react to it. But when you come around, you will be a better Jew than all of us.
What can we do? Where can we find the place to serve the Almighty? Where can we find the holy water to drink?
Unfortunately, I don't know. When I come back from the Netherlands, we'll find out together.
What's that?
What is it, Captain?
I don't know. It looks like ships.
Our ships?
I can't tell, but it doesn't look like ours. French, English, whatever it is. I can't put two of them.
Here, let me take a look. Captain, they're flying to Union Jack. Look!
Oh no! English privateer! They'll split our girls for a few pieces of gold. Men! Turn the ship! Turn the ship! Ah, forget it! Man the gun! Prepare for battle!
What are you waiting for, amigo? The carnival is over. The ship has already exploded. If you want to get back to the end by nightfall, we gotta be on our way. Titus, just a bit more time. There might be some survivors. Wait, what is that I see? It's a man tied to a plank. He must survive the fight along with severely wounded. Quick, Titus, go to the wagon and fetch me a bucket. Are you alright? Are you okay? Stop, Pedro, is that you? Where am I? On the coast of Normandy, France. France? I must escape immediately. If they find me, it will be a great blessing to my government. Oh, I got that shot. Take care of it.
later, you can borrow these. This is a towel, and this is not a towel.
Perhaps I will, if you explain to me their meaning.
Sure, it would be my pleasure. But first, how can I help?
I'm hungry and thirsty, but much better. Chaverim, it seems that I owe you my life. How can I ever repay you?
Forget about it. Ever since you helped me 2 years ago in Vienna, I've been wanting to help you out and to repay you. It was the will of the Almighty that I was able to save you before the French got to you.
French! I must escape immediately. They can't capture me. If they capture me, great embarrassment for my country.
Don't worry, my friend, chill. We're in a deserted farmhouse. No one knows where you are. Even the doctor who treated you was one of us. He was a Jew. The main thing now is for you to take the time to regain your health and your strength. And then you'll be better.
Pedro spent the next few weeks with Alicia Ringo. They talked about business, they talked about politics, but most of all, they talked about religion. Don Pedro put on college film, learned about Chaverim and asked thousands of questions, many of which Alicia Ringo could not answer. One day, Alicia Ringo came in with some news.
Yo, it's Don Pedro, guess what? You see what I see in this paper this morning? It says, just a second. There's Prince William of Orange, of the House of Orange, has overthrown government in the Netherlands, and the Empire and Brandenburg have joined their alliance against France. Everyone is saying that Spain would also have joined, because the Duke of Brandenburg had parents at sea. But now, a new envoy has been sent, and they're expected to join soon.
Wow, it seems the whole world passed by as it was recovered.
Yes, I'm sure your homecoming will be a joyous one.
But perhaps not yet.
What? What do you mean perhaps not yet?
Well, everybody assumes that I'm dead. My family shed their tears. I will not increase their sorrow by delaying my return. And my country, they too can do without me for a while. I'm free. Freer than I've ever been in my entire life.
But like, what are you going to do?
I'll go with you to Amsterdam.
Huh? Amsterdam? What for?
You will introduce me to a rabbi there, and you will teach me how to be Jewish, for my sake and my children's.
Good.
Couldn't get much louder.
of Policek.
Amazing, absolutely amazing. Truly the divine promise that brought us, that brought you and Lisa together to meet in order. He writes that you have learned from the basics of plural and want to learn even more. He actually helped me my assistant, Pedro, or perhaps should I start calling you Jacob Goldman? Come, my son, please sit down. How can I help you?
Holy Rabbi, I've always been proud to be a Jew, but the problem is I and the rest of the Maranos, we don't know much about being Jewish. We're not circumcised, we don't keep Shabbos, we don't even know what politics are. The only difference between us and the Christians is in belief, not in deeds. Do you understand what I mean?
Yes, it is a well-known tragedy.
To you perhaps it is known, but to other Maranos, they don't know the danger. They think the real danger is being caught by the Inquisition. No, the real danger is the fact that we lost the Torah and mitzvahs, the bloodline of our people. Please, teach me, for my sake, my children, and others.
I will be glad to help you, but first, you must tell me something very serious.
And what's that?
Are you aware of the obligations under circumstances of your own?
You mean if I'm caught by the Inquisition?
No. Right now, the way the Maranos live is unacceptable according to the Torah. You must remove yourself and your entire family, take them to a place which is proper for a Jewish family life. You must go to a place where you do not have to step foot into a church. Be able to circumcise yourself, eat kosher, and keep Shabbos. Are you, Spanish Prince, Royal Dutch, able to take on the sacrifice?
I am. As soon as I go back to Spain, I will trade my fortune for precious jewels. Then I move my family to Amsterdam. There's no future for us in Spain.
Excellent. We will start learning tomorrow. For now, you need your rest.
I'm so excited. We'll finally be able to meet other secret Jews. You meet in a secret cabin or anything like that? No, I'm sorry to disappoint you, Carolina. There's not going to be any underground caverns or tunnels. This is not a game for thrills. This is serious business. Remember what Father told us. We are keepers of the word. Remember that, okay? Okay. And I'm not only in this for the thrills. Who is this? This is my younger sister, Maria. Come inside.
Good prayers, the home of the Navians.
Well, goodbye. See you tomorrow at 11 o'clock in the morning. Be there over the square. And bring your sister along, too. Oh, and how did you like the services? Oh, it's much more exciting than anything we did in Madrid. Madrid? I thought you lived in Valladolid. But Maria meant, not that, Madrid. But sometimes we go to Madrid for services. That even in that big city, they don't benefit that compared to the services over here. Right, anyone? Of course you do. Well, whatever. See you tomorrow. I'm sorry, Sebastian.
Sebastian! Oh, please! No.
I'm sorry. It sounds like I didn't suspect anything anyway. And I can't expect you to be a hardened spy at just 17 years old. And remember, don't back off. It's a serious business. You have to keep on practicing. ready? The last year, I have a message for Luis Alvarez. Your father wishes you to be with him at once.
Oh, Father is a jerk.
You don't understand where you have been all this time, Father.
Well, it seems that I survived the shipwreck. Somehow tied myself to a plank and made it back to shore, where a German peasant found me and nursed me back to life. But in the fever book, it seems that I lost my memory. I lived as a German peasant for 2 years, until recently I got hit in the head and fell off a carriage, and my memory returned.
Wow. John,
Don't feel so bad. The life of a German peasant is much better than the life of a Spanish woman. Oh, I forgot to introduce you. Father Rodrigo. These are my children.
Hello. What are your names? My name is Sebastian. My name is Caroline.
Okay, kids, don't rush off from your trip. I'll have a much better time with you later after I finish my official business.
They seem such wonderful children. Their father must be very proud.
I am, thankfully. So, Father Rodrigo, it seems you've become a very important man in the court while I was away. The Queen sent you here so we can meet each other, but I don't really know much about it.
Please, I deserve so much less flattery. My life has been merely typical, since almost the day of my birth. I've been on God's earth since 37 years, and it's less than much. Although again, it would seem very boring and typical. I grew up in Santa Monica, where I attended the university in both mathematics and theology. I took to theology and became the priest that you see today. But again, I recall this life boring after the tremendous work it is we do, the saving of the souls, the redeeming of the eternal.
Yeah, it would seem to me the life of an inquisitor is quite dull sometimes.
Please, Madam President, you must underrate me. Do not look at me sarcastically and tell me my job is boring. There's nothing like that. I do not believe in torture. Rather, I abhor violence. I believe in saving the soul through understanding and kindness, molding rather than punishing. It just seems so unfair to torture someone into the belief, rather than the same amount of warmth and consideration, the same time of molding. Surely a soul can be redeemed for just that.
Well, I guess you can't be blamed for all the problems with the late position.
That is true. But look, I must explain to you what I was saying. You see, your affairs have fallen out in the last number of years when you were apparently shipwrecked as a peasant. I myself have taken upon the public life since then. I know the affairs from which you have fallen from. So it is Her Majesty's greatest wish that I can serve you. It is my wish as well. Don Pedro, will you take me as your assistant?
Well, I would be honored to have such a learned man serve under me as an assistant.
Don Pedro, let us shake on our friendship. It is from here that we hope to be both able to help not only our love of land, but even more importantly, a holy faith. I leave it to your children. God bless you. Father, why is it so dark in here? Here, let me light a candle.
No, wait. It's Shabbos today. It is forbidden to light fire on Shabbos. Keeping Shabbos properly can be very rewarding. In fact, the Talmud says that every Jew will keep Shabbos, the redemption will come.
Father, why are you talking like that? I never heard you really know about Jewish law. And since when can you quote on the Talmud?
Well, Sebastian, I have a relation with you. I was not roaming the countryside for 2 years like I told everyone. Really, I was in Poland, studying with a rabbi, studying the Holy Torah, and it's a treasure beyond belief.
I can't believe it.
Believe me, and as soon as possible, I will take the family out of Spain, where we can live a life of full-fledged Jews.
Wow, I can't believe it. I too have been doing a little studying about the Jewish tradition and belief. And as a matter of fact, just last night I went to a services in Toledo.
What? Are you crazy? Are you on your mind? Do you realize that people will be arrested at any moment now? You put Do you take care of women also? God help us. Heaven. Sebastian, you must promise me never to go back there again.
palace affairs. Nothing had been done. Sebastian was disappointed and upset.
I don't understand this. Where's Sebastian? Today's Yom Kippur, the holiest day of the year, and he knows he's supposed to be here right now. I know he's upset. He's disappointed in me that we're not in the later stages of our escape from Spain. I bet he's back with his friends in Toledo. In fact, I'm sure of it. And if that's true, it's a case of circumstances cautious. If he's captured, the whole family will be put to death. And since it's a case of circumstances cautious, even though today's Yom Kippur, I must get there right now. Pablo. Pablo. Get the carriage ready immediately.
Who is that? The carriage? Is that? No, it couldn't be. It couldn't possibly be.
I hear that you, as the prisoner of Toledo, have just penetrated a group of secret Judaizers. Among them, a number of rather prominent people. The whole country is talking about it. Please tell me about it. Thank you. But you have just heard the first half of it. The other half is so great, so unbelievable, that I have to come and tell you, my good friend, personally. And that much more, a good friend, because of my connections. And yeah, please, but I'm interested. Continue.
Well, under torture, some of the members of the secret group of Judaizers indicated that there was a brother and sister, Luis and Maria Alvarez, from the city of Valhalla, that were among them for this secret hiding group of Jews. But no choice of their names came up anywhere, so the case seemed closed. But I, the hero, had a hunch that there was more to it than met the eye. So, Don Matthews held out almost until the end, but on his deathbed, with my methods of persuasion, he gave in and revealed the name of the father of Maria Alvarez.
Well, don't stop there. Who was it?
It was the Duke of Monteverde. Listen to this, father.
Amazing even the word. Mind-blowing.
So I think that it's quite obvious that Sebastian is really the son of the Duke of Monteverde and is a Jew. So why don't we have him arrested and have the Jews of Toledo identify him?
No, it's too risky. haven't really proven anything. And even if we could prove that the son of the Duke is a secret Jew, we don't have enough proof that the Duke himself is a secret Jew. We need something more subtle, more clever, more underhanded. Exactly. Underhandedness is a virtue in defense of the holy faith. Please.
My philosophy precisely. But one other thing. How you have got to use your connections to get me transfers to Madrid. How can I fill myself in glory when at the same time I'm stuck here in Toledo?
I've got it. I'll move you here, and you'll hang around the house in Monterey. You'll be bound to pick up some information. We'll get those two swine.
That's a great idea.
Come in. Yes, dear Father, how can I help you?
I'm looking for a lady by the name of Maria Prince.
I am Maria Prince.
Well, that's great, Maria. I'm with the imposition of the Spanish government, and I'd like to ask a few questions about something that we suspect of being a secret Judaizer. Do you remember a figure by the name of Luis Martinez?
Yes, of course. Can I make you some wine?
No, thank you.
I do remember this person. I don't recall where he came from. Sorry.
Do you remember this figure Luis Martinez once working in your kitchen about 2 years ago?
Yes, I do. I already said that. I really come from a place called Afghanistan.
Afghanistan? I see. Well, do you remember if you lit candles on Friday night, or if you ate, or if you refrained from eating pork?
Well, you lit candles. I don't recall the father.
You don't recall whether he did anything at all that would have implicated him as a Jew?
Well, like some more, Father?
Sure, thank you very much. Well, let's get off this Martinez character for a minute, and let's just relax a little bit. Tell me, what's life like in the house of the Duke of Monteverde?
Well, it's exciting, but it gets quite difficult. The judges often get very rough here.
So she's demanding, but I'm sure that you do a good job. Tell me about the children.
Well, Rusty is a dashing, good soldier. Isabel is exactly the opposite. All she does is pray over. In fact, she's praying right now. But Carolina, on the other hand, always laughing and getting into mischief. And young Felipe is a good boy who adores his brother and father.
I remember about 2 years ago meeting up with the daughter of the Duke. Would that have been Isabel?
I don't think so. Was it 2 years ago? Because on Friday night, they all went to church, using confessions over there.
Yeah. Yeah, it was about 2 years ago. then it must be them, because that was the last time they were there. Since 2 years ago, they haven't gone anywhere, because the Duke has seen what life really means since his father passed away. Have they been there since? I don't think so. Has the Duke at all been busy? Yes, very busy. Since he got back, he has no time to go on vacation at all. So the Duke's been busy doing what? He's getting the affairs in order. He's getting his affairs in order? Well, would you say that the reason that he's doing that might be to go on a long trip? Yes, that is good comparison. I get that since his father's death, it made him realize what life really means to him. Well, you mentioned that Isabel is currently in the house. Is there any way you'd be able to call her for me? Are you okay, sweetie? Please wake up, please! Wake up! Are you okay?
Yes. Probably because I was in the chapel praying. I missed breakfast.
Sure. I've seen you many times. But you often get very involved in his prayers and assume a trance-like state, causing frequent spells of dizziness and even fainting. Sure, I'll be going now. Yes, Father, I'm sorry I was not able to help. Hope next time I'll give you more help. Well, you have been a far greater help than you could have ever imagined. Sometimes what doesn't seem like any help at all is really a lot more help than you ever would have thought of it. She faked I left.
Why did he keep on doing that?
Excellent, piano. Let us review the main points of the case against Don Pedro. First of all, we had Don Pedro's family was caught together with the Jews in Toledo. And we also know that Don Pedro told his children not to return in order that they shouldn't be recognized. Second of all, we also know that Don Pedro was liquidating his assets in case he should have to flee Spain. And third of all, there's Isabel. She's obviously torn between complete faith in the church and love for her father. I pity the poor girl. But she is the weak link. We must exploit her. But first I must speak with a certain someone. Thank you, Father Rodrigo, for joining me on this cool evening. Remember, we are political opponents. What is up your sleeve? Well, surely you've been wondering why I moved Guillermo de Manzan to Madrid. Yes, why did you move the old from Toledo? And why is it that he bothers the Duke day in and day out? What is his agenda? Well, you've heard about the secret Jews that were caught in Toledo. Yes. Well, among them was a Jew who confessed that among these Jews in Toledo was the son of a high-ranking nobleman, who was none other than that Duke himself. Which Duke is that? Don Pedro. You lie! So this is how you intend to fight Don Pedro and his enlightened politics. His is the politics of the future. I will not have the conniving trickery that's been going on for centuries in this country. I will not vote for it. Tell me, what evidence do you have? I forgive you for your harsh words, Rodrigo. But we have, first of all, the evidence of Guillermo di Manzano, who interviewed the servants and discovered that Don Pedro had participated in Jewish activities. A commoner? A commoner ought to torture all this. The word of a common person against the word of the great Don Pedro? This is no case, this is a joke. What are you planning here? This is not the only thing. Now, at this moment, we are currently looking for a Jewish ancestor. Jewish ancestor? You will not find one in Don Pedro. We know that Don Pedro was a Jew. We have evidence. Well, you know what, Cornelio, if this is one more way you're going to try and wedge a political wedge between myself and a Jew, you failed again. You don't look for your evidence. And when you find it, I hope you choke on it.
For her sins.
Give me Father.
Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned.
Speak, my child. Tell me what is in your heart.
You know Father Bernardo. Who are you?
No, I am not. Father Bernardo has flown away unexpectedly. He asked me to take his place. My name is Pedro. A harmless name. Okay?
Pedro is my father's name.
Ah, that's what you thought. I can tell that you love your father a great deal. Am I right?
Yes.
More than the church?
No, not more than the church.
What's bothering myself? Please tell me.
Nothing. I'm a little tired from the trip.
I can tell there's a heavy burden on your soul. The best way to relieve this burden is to confide in us. And we're better than in the profession.
I cannot. I simply cannot. Oh, please, good Father, do not ask me something I cannot do.
I can sense that your dilemma is wrong to love your father. Dad and faith. Good heavens, you are forced between love and faith.
Stop it! I cannot take it anymore.
I suspect your father has done some grave sins he has not done penance. You, as a devoted daughter, do not wish him to suffer for this. But you know that if you do not do something, he is always doomed.
Be quiet! Be quiet!
Isabel will be alive right now. Well, Father, maybe we should plan an escape now from Spain. I feel that Isabel was only the first. We could be in great danger. I can't. I'm honored about it to serve my country and my queen. As soon as the war's over, then we'll go. Father, are you a Spaniard or a Jew? I am both a Spaniard and a Jew. Well, I am not. I am a Jew. How can I be considered a Spaniard when in Spain the entire conviction is just to go and get me and destroy me? I am a Jew, and a man must choose who he is. Sebastian, you are young, and you see things in absolute terms. I am a Jew, and I'm proud to be a Jew. But the blood of Ferdinand and Isabella flows in my veins. As soon as I fulfill my duty as a Spaniard, then I will be free. If you think then you will be free, you will never be available to leave. That's it.
With the help of the treacherous Father Escobar Canego, Queen's stepson, Don Juan Jose of Austria marched on the capital and was victorious. He threw the Queen in jail, and Don Juan became new king of Spain. As a result of it, by his help, Escobar Canego became the king's right-hand man.
You know, Escobar, when I took over the kingdom of Spain, I had visions of grandeur. I thought I would transform it. I thought I would make the kingdom unparalleled in the world. But I'm bogged down. Every day, there's an economic report, there's an agricultural report, boring meetings. I can't handle it. And then there's the war in the Netherlands. The war in the Netherlands. It's so frustrating. I can't deal with it. I don't know what to do.
Well, Your Grace, we can't just be expected to give up our territories in the Netherlands without a fight, can we?
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying to give in. But I've been thinking, it's time for a treaty with the Netherlands. It's time for a treaty.
Who do you wish to head this committee for the treaty?
Well, I know you're not going to like this. I think Don Pedro should head the committee. I know you don't like Don Pedro, but let me explain. You know that he is the most capable person. You know that a treaty such as this is as complicated as any treaty that's ever been signed before. And if any man can do it, it's going to be Don Pedro.
Don't move it. Please don't move it.
Grace, you say I don't like him, but I was waiting to tell you this, but it's really much more than that. My hatred goes deeper. The reason for my hatred is that I now have evidence that Don Pedro, our esteemed Duke, is a secret Jew.
No. You mock me. He has royal blood in his veins. He's my own cousin. You're telling me that he's a Jew? It's a joke. Are you out of your mind?
Heaven forbid, Your Grace, that I should mock you. But I have evidence. First of all, we have the evidence that his children and his family were caught in Toledo conducting secret Jewish activities. This same man who caught them, Guillermo de Manzan, went to the house and interviewed the servants, where he found further evidence of Jewish activities. And now I have the final piece of evidence which concludes that our esteemed Duke is a secret Jew. I have found a Jewish ancestor. His name is Isaac Burgess, a wealthy banker, a wealthy Jewish banker, who lived 250 years ago. Both the Duke and his wife have come from an unbroken line of Jewish descent. This is conclusive proof that they are secret Jews.
a vile Jew. I'm shocked. But the evidence is conclusive. Well, what can we do? I have to think. I have an idea. We'll send him on the expedition to sign the treaty. But we won't make him a leader. We won't make him a leader. We'll make him a pawn. He'll be just a small person in the picture of things. But this way, we'll have our hands around his neck. Because if he's away for such a long time on an expedition to the Netherlands, he's bound to take his family. And once his family's there, we'll get his son, Sebastian. If we have Sebastian, as soon as we amass the evidence, we'll say, Sebastian's our hostage. You come in, Don Pedro, and Sebastian lives. You don't, and the wild Jew dies. Then we'll try Don Pedro under King's law.
Very clever, you guys. Excellent.
France. When Escobar Canego's spies found people who had seen Don Pedro in Amsterdam, he was arrested and called back to Spain. He had to go back because Sebastian was there. Both he and Sebastian were thrown into jail.
Father Rodrigo, am I glad to see you?
It shames me to see you locked away like this.
Tell me, what crime am I accused of?
That of Judaizing.
Complete nonsense. Why would I be interested in Judaism?
I found it hard to believe myself.
And Sebastian, did you hear from him?
He sits in these same walls under the same crime, the same charge.
This is all a conspiracy, a fabrication made up by Father Escobar. Tell me, what has their reaction been to my arrest?
Of course, your family and friends have produced the usual reaction. They objected to this thoroughly. And even the Queen herself has insinuated this is a plot to dismantle her from the throne and usurp the power by Escobar.
How Sebastian?
Yes, well, after that whole reign of controversy, Sebastian will speak to no one until he has conflict with your father. But tell me something. The evidence against you seems so strong, it seems so harsh. Is it all coincidence, or is there any truth to any of this evidence?
None whatsoever, Rodrigo.
It seems so difficult. All right. If you are willing to deny all charges, I shall take my leave then.
Wait. Pull it back. Wait. Don Pedro, I feel the friend. I must tell you, the wishes to meet the empathy is strong enough, as you said. No, it is still time. There is still time to return to the church. Reconcile and take control.
We can come back, you can come back. I'm sure it's just a heavy penalty, but we return to your position. Please don't waste your career, don't waste your family on such a small matter.
It pains me to hear you say that. I am and always have been a devout Christian. I hope we remain friends after my business school. So do I, Dr. Pedro, so do I. Wait, Father Rodrigo, can I ask you one more thing? Can you arrange a meeting between me and my son in private? I will do my best to see you right soon. Thank you.
Father, how is mother and children?
They're safe in Paris. The king has extended his protection to them, like a true gentleman.
Oh, thank heaven. I've been praying for them constantly with a welfare and help.
The reason why we have this meeting was Father Rodrigo visited, and he granted us this meeting. Years of friendship built a spirit in him. But how I wish those years were spent in Amsterdam. Sebastian, you were right all along. I should take the family out while I had a chance. The years I spent studying Torah were the best years of my life. I have sinned. Sebastian, listen to me. I learned the Torah. I knew. But you're blameless. Perhaps God will have mercy on you and save you. And if that's true, you must take Mother and the girls and move them to a place where there are other Jews. But that is not enough. You must then sit down and study the Torah, as I did, until you discover its beauty.
I promise I will. Thank you, Father. But Father, have trust. I believe that Hashem will help us get out of this, and we'll all live through it together.
Perhaps you're right. And in the meantime, deny everything and don't answer any questions.
What happens if God forbid we are believers, and they lead us off to the stake? Should we go to our death as faithful Christians and Catholics, or not?
No, my son. If we must die, we'll die as Jews. Our heads held up high, and the name of the Almighty on our lips.
Time is up. 1,000 pardons, my Lord, but I have my orders.
One more minute, Mr. Graham.
Of course. Goodbye, Father. Remember, I always admire you and love you.
Goodbye, my son. I leave you with the blessing of Father, and I trust you to the care of our Father in heaven.
My heart bleeds to see you torture yourself. This is disgraceful. Please, don't try and talk. You're too ill. Perhaps some of this will help you. Don Pedro, I bring you some points of major information. 3 points, exactly. The first is that your family is safe. Safe in France. The king has been more gracious than could be expected. The second, my friend, the second point is that the work you have done with the tree has finally come to be. The fruition of all the work and all the efforts and the signatures we laid down when the war with Spain is finally finished. It is all over, Don Pedro. But the last point of information strikes you personally. The king is taken ill. The queen seems to be the next in line to the throne. And as you know, when she takes the throne, their stock will go up. The chances are great she can become your ally. But it's up to you.
Well, that is indeed very good news.
No, not as great as you may think, my good friend. For Father Carnegie, well, this is a secret that only I can privy to. You see, Father Carnegie plans your accidental murder in your next session of torture, and I'm not sure what to do.
The fiend, what can I do?
Don Pedro, I am your good friend. I have been with you all along. I aided your affairs as much as I could. There is only one thing for you to do, and that, Don Pedro, is to confess. No, just confess now. Take upon yourself the Holy Church. Make reconciliation. You can come back. Think of your friends, think of your family, think of your position. Why throw that all away? Why dump it all for something that I believe to be true and I'm sure you know to be true?
Certainly not, Rodrigo. I am not, and I've never been a Judaizer.
Are you willing to swear upon the Holy Cross?
I am.
I see, Don Pedro. Don Pedro, then you are going to leave us no choice. For now you are to stay in jail for as long as, well, who knows, and maybe hours, maybe days, until Father Carnegie exacts his terrible punishment. But please think about what I've said. Feel free to signal to me at any time. Your admission would be greatly appreciated. Goodbye, my friend, and may heaven.
My glad to see you. Where did you get the keys? How did you pull this off? Got a friend in my place. We're masquerading.
Two people masquerading as Queen's assistants showed up yesterday and provided us with 2 masks and 2 keys. By the way, Don Pedro, that's some sad news. The Queen has died. No. Pablo, you must have gotten your information all wrong. The king, Babylon has died. The Queen has returned to power. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that. She must look upon my freedom as a way to ensure return to power.
That is undoubtedly why she sent us to rescue you. But this messenger also told us that we must go to the Roman aqueduct at sunrise today. We must hurry. Took Don Pedro to the Roman aqueduct where they were supposed to meet the messengers of the Queen. However, a surprising turn of events followed. Instead of the messenger of the Queen who had given them these priest's outfits and the masks and the keys, who turned up but Father Rodrigo. He explained what was going on to a very puzzled Don Pedro. He said, you see, it was not the Queen at all who gave the keys to your trusted servants to help you escape. It was I. You see, I too am a Jew. Don Pedro did not understand. He said, you're a Jew. So why do you want to confess? He said, Father Rodrigo explained, if you had confessed, it would have been much easier. You could have stayed out of the palace, and you could have continued working together. However, now you're making this complicated. But you can stay in my cabin and recuperate while I try to free Sebastian. Don Pedro was very grateful. Then, Father Rodrigo asked Don Pedro one question. He said, tell me, when you were in Pulchek studying with that rabbi, was it a revelation? And Don Pedro answered, yes, I discovered the Torah of the Almighty, which was the most magnificent thing in the universe. Father Rodrigo said, sounds fascinating, you must tell me about it another time, and he drove off. 30 days later, which was exactly when Father Rodrigo and Don Pedro had agreed to meet, Don Pedro went with his trusted servants to under the Roman aqueduct, the same place where they met. But instead of Father Rodrigo, many soldiers met them, and they were captured and dragged back to Madrid. There, the queen was restored to power, and she was not sure what to believe, whether Don Pedro was a Jew or not. But Father Rodrigo had turned traitor. He betrayed Don Pedro. He was not a Jew at all. He had just claimed that he was a Jew in order to get a confession out of Don Pedro. He testified before the queen, and the queen was furious. She threw Don Pedro in jail, and he was ready to be burned at the stake. At the next auto de fe, in honor of the queen's re-coronation. In addition to Don Pedro, there were other victims at this auto de fe in this burning at the stake. Chief among them, besides Don Pedro, was Father Escobar Carnejo, who, because of his treachery in helping Don Juan overthrow the queen, was also indicted, thrown into jail, given over to the Inquisition, and also was ready to be burned at the stake. We will now hear from our choir.
Yeah.
it is you. Who would have thought that we would have both come to the same end, in the same place, at the same time?
But you're wrong, Escobar. You're at the lowest point of your life, while I'm at the highest point of mine.